really heard the term that girl until coming to TikTok, and I want to talk about it. My partner and I recently sold everything we own to travel full time, and it's $30,000 cheaper than our old way of living. Typical conversation you hear when people are talking about becoming that girl has to do with fashion and beauty and having the perfect aesthetic. But to me, it's a little bit more than that. And I also think a lot of people don't share what it took to get there. I'll start a little series showing how I got there, because to me, being that girl is so much more than whatever aesthetic you're putting out to the world. If creating a lifestyle that grants you financial freedom, luxury of time, and maybe freedom from overconsumption is really interesting to you, I'm gonna talk to you about how I got there. When I moved to San Francisco 8 years ago, I really had nothing. I just graduated from college. I got an offer to work in Chicago for like $20,000, and I was like, that is not worth it. I can get that anywhere. So I decided to move to California with my then boyfriend. We broke up, and my rent was $3,500 a month, so I had to figure out how I was gonna pay that by myself. Needless to say, I went into like $10,000 worth of credit card debt, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I almost thought about moving back home to Indiana. And I managed to save over $100,000 in my 20s. Literally went from sad and broke to financially free, debt-free. And I learned a lot of hacks. There were a lot of things that I had to sacrifice, and I think that's the number one thing I wanna talk about is the sacrifices that you have to make in order to make and build a lifestyle that is different than the norm. You have to do what's right for you and think about your why. For me, I didn't grow up traveling. I never left the country until I was like 24, I think. That was my first trip, and I never thought I'd be able to afford to travel. It wasn't until I learned about credit card hacking and how to take advantage of the system until I realized that I could basically travel for free. Let me know what you wanna know, and I'm gonna share some of my hacks to achieve this lifestyle that are attainable and realistic.